Good afternoon and welcome to Fin on TV. This is Coach Greb live here in our studio with Mr. Mans today. He's here as a candidate for the role of a district attorney here in Gwinnett County, one of the largest county in the state of Georgia. I have a lot of questions to ask him because I want to ask him why he want to be a district attorney. But before we do that, I'm going to ask Mr. Mann to introduce himself to our audience. Good afternoon, Mr. Mann.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. My name is Daryl Mans, and I'm running to be the next district attorney here in Gwinnett County. I have been a career prosecutor, prosecuting since 2010. That's my life passion. It's what I went to law school for, and it's how I wanted to spend my life. I'm from a service family. My dad was an Army vet, and my mom was a sixth grade science teacher. Service was instilled in me at an early age, and I chose to serve my community through being an attorney. Specifically, I chose to be a prosecutor. I wanted to fight for people who could not fight for themselves, and I wanted to do justice in our community and help people who needed the help.
Absolutely. So quickly, this is something that from birth, I would say you were born in a family of service provider, I mean like a community public service people.
Yes.
And so your mother was a teacher, your dad, so basically you were born with this. Now, personally, how does this align with your career goal? Like, how does this job of being a district attorney allow your career goal?
Thank you for your question. So for me, I think back to when I was a kid and how my parents would make us do things that you don't kind of understand when you're a young person, right? They would make us do things like go outside and sweep the neighbor's yard, or, I'm sorry, rake the neighbor's leaves and cut the grass, and we would help people on the side of the road, and you didn't understand why your parents are doing those things until you grow up and you see that it's important to be a good servant in your community to help those people that are in need of help. For me, I became an attorney because, as cheesy as it sounds, I was a big Matlock fan when I was a young person. So when I was about 8 or 9, I started watching episodes of Matlock with my mother, and I thought it was the best thing that he would go out and he would help literally fight crime. Matlock was a defense attorney, if you know the show. So I decided that the best way that I could actually serve the community was by being a prosecutor and prosecuting those people who hurt other people.
Well, I like the word prosecutor because a lot of us may not know what the district attorney does or what it means. We hear the word DA. What does that mean, and what does it do? What does a person do?
That's a good question. The district attorney is a person who is directly responsible for your safety in your community. So when you see issues that are happening in a community that involve crime, those fall directly at the feet of two people, the police, the chief of police, the sheriff, and the district attorney. The district attorney's role, to backtrack, when you first come in contact with law enforcement, that's just step one of a person's case. The district attorney is a person who is charged with proving you did what the police or the sheriff's department says that you did. Meaning that just because you're accused of a crime doesn't mean that you did the crime.
Yes.
The prosecutor's office is responsible for looking at evidence, reviewing what happened, make sure all the procedures were followed in the right kind of way, and then if after all those steps they think that is appropriate, to move forward with your case to the prosecution stage.
Absolutely. Now, can you, in your own experience, recall something, a case that prompted you to say, I want to be this, I want to go and do this? Do you have like a personal story, any personal event in your life that prompted you to want to be a district attorney?
Well, yes, actually. Like I was saying earlier, it really was. I watched that show Matlock, and I saw how he was always out in the community helping people. He was that guy who had that tough exterior, but really had a heart of gold. And one of the things that Matlock in the show would always do was he'd go out and he'd find the real person who committed the crime. He was always helping people. That was his thing. And for me, as I watched the show, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to help people, and I want to help those people who can't help themselves, and I want to make sure that people who do bad things in the community are actually punished. For me, I could think personally about a couple of stories that I witnessed as an assistant district attorney that led me down this path to be specifically running for DA here in Gwinnett County. For instance, there was a case that I came across recently with a young lady whose husband was killed. She wasn't notified from the DA's office about what was happening with her case. She didn't think the case was being prosecuted fairly. She had several different attorneys assigned to her case. leading her actually to running for office now. She's running for office. But I don't want anybody to feel like that, to feel like they did not have any justice, to feel like they didn't have adequate communication with the district attorney's office. That's part of the role of the district attorney's office, to make sure they communicate with the citizens, because the district attorney actually serves the citizens of this county.
Absolutely. So basically, as a district attorney, you are prosecuting, but you also want to make sure that the due diligence is, actually performed. People do the right thing. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. The district attorney role is so much bigger than just prosecuting. You have to, as I call it, Monday morning quarterback the police department, right? If the police department did not do something that was correct, then it is the role of the district attorney to make sure that offender or defendant, its case is dismissed. You don't just we don't live in a dictatorial state. You have to actually follow the rules when you're prosecuting your case or when you're arresting a citizen. So when a police officer doesn't do something correct, it is the role of the district attorney to make sure that case is dismissed and is not pressed forward if it cannot be pressed forward with the information that you had. That's part of why I wanted to be a district attorney so bad, is that every day all you do is get up, you come to work, and you do the right thing. Sometimes the right thing is not popular. Sometimes the right thing is not easy to do, but it is the right thing, and ultimately you can sleep at night knowing that you did the right thing.
Absolutely. Now, I see that you have a passion for this. I can see that. And you're not new to the job, because you've been, an assistant district attorney. Is that what you said? I've
been since 2010 when I graduated from law school. I've been an assistant district attorney, eventually being promoted to chief assistant district attorney here in Gwinnett County.
So it's nothing new to you. This is just confirming you, for this position with the election that I know I wish going to happen soon. So the thing is, there are issues in Gwinnett County. You just mentioned one of them. Are there other issues that you see pressing that need to be addressed in this criminal justice system in Gwinnett County, beside the case of the lady just mentioned? Are there any other cases that really are pressing now, that are really hurting our system or hurting people in our system?
There's two things in particular I can think of when you ask that question. The first is, you can see by just watching the news and going around town that we have a real gun problem here in Gwinnett County. We have a gun problem. We have a violence problem. The district attorney needs to be out front, standing in the front, to letting people know that if you take a gun and you put it in somebody's face and you harm another person, in particular innocent people, that you're going to pay the punishment for that. I'm not saying that we should give up on those people. Everybody deserves second chances in the right situations. However, when you have done some of those things, you rape, murder, and rob people, you have to be held accountable for your actions. That's number one. The second thing that I think of immediately is the fact that we have issues with access to justice here in Gwinnett County. People of color, black and brown people, are prosecuted at a much higher rate nationally than any other group of people. They're victimized at a much higher rate than any group of people. In particular, black women are victimized at a much higher rate. What I see in the system that's the issue is that the people in the system aren't taking those kind of people seriously enough. We need to make sure that people of color are as equally protected as anybody else. Everybody deserves to be safe here in Gwinnett County. Everybody deserves to feel safe here in Gwinnett County, and that is the role of the district attorney, to make sure that you are safe.
And as a district attorney, I believe that you will do a better job because you have the experience, the background, and it's something that you're really passionate about. And these are things that you see on a daily basis. But the thing is, how will you do this? Because it's a system. So you as an individual, how will you bring that change into the system?
That's a good question. So the district attorney there's a couple things that I wanted to mention about the district attorney specifically. One is the role of the district attorney is a very big job. And experience matters, but not just experience. It needs to be relevant experience. When you go to the hospital and you need to have open heart surgery, it's great to have a doctor, but you don't want a knee doctor performing your open heart surgery. You want a heart doctor performing your open heart surgery.
Absolutely.
And that's the same thing I reckon to a prosecutor, right? I've been a prosecutor since 2010. I've handled every kind of case, from low-level drug cases and low-level shoplifting cases up to the most serious of cases, which are murders and rapes in our system. The district attorney is the one who decides when an offender gets something like death or the death penalty or life in prison. So to go back and answer your question specifically, I feel like the district attorney needs to be out front and center, letting people know, holding press conferences, not about conviction rates, but about how we're going to keep the community safe, and that if people do things, in particular violent things, to hurt other people, that we're going to hold them accountable. I also plan on putting together commissions or little groups of councils of people from the community that come and get a chance to meet with me and my senior staff periodically and let us know what that community needs. Gwinnett County is a very diverse place full of a bunch of different communities. The important thing is that each community has different needs, and they need to have an outlet, a way to tell us, the district attorney's office specifically, what they need and how we can keep their particular community safe.
And this is very interesting for us to know. Now, I know you are running against other people, and can you tell that person ready to go for you, or who's listening now, what are the unique qualities position you to deserve his vote? What specifically qualifies you better than your competitors to be, the choice?
Yes, specifically, I am the only candidate in this race that has spent their career and their life being a prosecutor. When I went to law school specifically to be a prosecutor. I made sure that I geared my career towards it. I took classes in law school to learn how to be a better advocate, how to deal with victims, how to give them the resources that they needed, and that's what I focused on in my career. The other candidates cannot say that they have not done those things. That is the main difference between me and all the candidates. We all believe in second chances. We all believe in second chance programs. The difference as well is that I believe in holding people accountable when they have done bad things in the community. Like I said earlier, if you take a gun and you put it in somebody's face, we have to hold you accountable for your actions. When people moved to Gwinnett County, you moved here because you wanted the school system for your kids. It was safer. You wanted to get away from the other metro counties, and you came here to Gwinnett County where it was safe. I don't know if we can say that same thing anymore now. But with the right leadership, with me as district attorney, I believe that we can make Gwinnett a better place.
This is interesting to know, because when you say you're speaking in the past it used to be, but it has changed, and that's what you want to change. That's what you want to change.
Correct. It used to be people moved here, and when I moved here, it was one of the safest. It was known as one of the safest communities in the state. You can no longer say that about Gwinnett County. When you turn on the news and you see these news stories every other day, it's something about somebody being shot with a gun, somebody being robbed, people's cars being broken into at schools. We have murderers that were given probation by the current district attorney. We have people who committed rape offenses being given $5,000 bonds by the current district attorney. Those things are what harms the community. When criminals see that, they know where they can go and not go and commit crimes. What we don't want is for them to think that they can come to Gwinnett County and commit crimes and go unpunished.
Absolutely.
And that is the issue in the system that I see.
Now, for those who wanted to go to vote, can you tell us when, where, how is everything happening? When can we vote, and where can we go to vote?
Early voting is happening right now until Friday, May 17th. So please go out and vote. You can go to my website, www.mansforda.com, and click on the Find My Voter Status on the bottom of my page. It'll tell you where you can vote at. That's Mansforda, MANNSFORDA.com, and give you that information. You can also find there your actual polling location if you don't get a chance to early vote and have to vote on the actual election day, which is Tuesday, May 21st. My website will tell you that as well if you click on that link and go to the My Voter page.
Okay, so they can go to your website. Is there any other place they can go, maybe to get information? Generally, where do elections normally take place? Like a park, or where's that?
The polling locations typically are at parks. I personally vote at the Gas South Center.
Okay.
There are parks. During the election day, there'll be schools, but as early voting's happening, mostly parks, community centers, and Gas South, actually.
Mr. Mann, it's a joy having you here. Do you have a last word for the people, the audience? You already explained why they should vote for you, but any last word?
Yes, I want you all to understand how important it is to go out and vote. Your vote and your voice matters. If you don't go out and vote, I'm sorry, your voice is not heard. Right now, we're on pace for record lows in turnout for voting. We've so far, by the last count, we've had less than 7,000 voters vote here in Gwinnett County when we have 600,000 registered voters here in Gwinnett County. That means that 4,000 people, I'm sorry, 7,000 people are deciding the fate of a county of 1 million people. It is so important to get out and vote and make sure that your voice is heard. When you don't vote, we get unqualified people in office. So please go out and vote. Like I said, you can find me on my website if you want more information. Please feel free to reach out. I'm very active in the community. If you ever need help, whether you decide to vote for me or not, I'm always around to help. So please make sure you look me up.
Absolutely, Mr. Mann. We really appreciate you. This is an issue that's so important because we're all victimized by these people who come, break into your car, do stuff, and it looks like there's not a strong punishment. I mean, not punishment, but something that can prevent them. So going to vote for this case is not something you should take lightly, say, well, that's none of my concern. We should all be concerned because this is the only opportunity you have to say no, that you want the right person to make the decision on your behalf. And Mr. Mann, to me, is the one person that is qualified for this. So go. Don't say, well, I'm too busy, I can't go. If you can't go on Tuesday, you have now today until Friday when you can do it. So go and make that vote because your vote counts because your vote is your voice. And a lot of people are looking for opportunity to vote. They can't have that. You have that opportunity to vote, so don't waste it. Don't waste it. Go and vote. Looking for Mr. Mann is a man for DA, meaning a district attorney. You will be voting on a Tuesday, or you can do that now before the actual vote date. So I really, Mr. Mann, I really, I don't know how to say it, but you just, surprised me with all the things you did and you said, and I really wish you the best on election day.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to celebrating. I don't drink, but I will come to celebrate that champagne with you because it's not something you have not done. It's something you've been doing already. You just need that confirmation as the district attorney in charge to do the job we already do so well. I want to thank you, and I thank my audience for being here tonight. As you all know, we'll bring people like Mr. Mann, people of caliber who come here to talk about things, and I hope we will have you again on Celebration Day to come and tell them how things went. So for now, I say thank you for watching Finan TV live here with Coach Greb, and I see you soon. Don't forget to go online on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram to watch this show. Tell your friend about it, but it's not enough to tell them about it. Tell them to go to vote on Friday. I mean, by Friday, they can go to vote, but on Tuesday, they can't miss that day. Thank you for watching Finan TV, and I see you soon.